Hi guys, thank you for joining me. So in today's video, we're going to talk about some common confusion which appears when using the personal pronouns I and me, also we and us. Oftentimes what I notice is when younger kids use these words or these particular pronouns in a sentence, there tends to be confusion when using them as a subject versus using them as an object in that sentence. And this also applies to English learners as well. So looking first at the personal pronouns for first person perspective is I and me. I is the subject or who or what the sentence is about, whereas me is the object of an action. So it's the object of the sentence. An action, again, needs to have some impact or some effect on the personal pronoun me, which cannot operate as the subject. It's always going to be the object of the sentence. Although given English with its long history and tradition of exceptions, there likely is an exception I'm neglecting. But for now, just understand that I will always operate as the subject of the sentence, whereas me will always operate as the object of the sentence or an object of a directed action. So I'll give two examples of using the personal pronoun I. I went shopping. I went with Karen to the mall. Whereas an example using a separate subject, but me as an object of that sentence, I could say, Karen called me to complain. You're gonna have to forgive me, I'm very much wedded to this meme, this Karen meme. I'm obsessed with it, so you'll likely be sick of it, if not already, but that's where we are. Another example could be, my father called me to say how disappointed he was. I wish I had more of a positive example, but an issue I usually see in sentences that I've read from not only my own kids, but also from other classes that I've had a chance to explore in, is the confusion between me and I. Sometimes I'll see someone write, she and me are going out to see a movie. So she would be our subject of the sentence, and then me is the second part of the subject because it's she conjunction and the second person joining the subject, so she and whoever that person is. And it can't be an object, so it wouldn't be me. Instead, it would be she and I are going to the movies to complete the subject. And there have been other times where I've seen people write, me and her will go outside today. Really, it would be she and I will go outside today. So her, as another example, would be, another example I saw was Karen and me like to complain. Again, me is an object, so it can't act as a subject. So Karen and blank, so it should be Karen and I, to complete that subject, like to complain. And then you've got the predicate to complete the whole sentence. So just keep in mind that if you're going to use me, it needs to be the object of an action. So if someone's calling you or signaling you or trying to get your attention or any other action that you can think of that would apply to the object pronoun me will work. But when you're writing or you're speaking, you cannot use me as a subject. So just keep that in mind for the future. And the same rule applies between the words we and us. We is going to act as the subject of the sentence. Us is going to be the object of an action. So it's the the object pronoun of that sentence. An example using we as a subject, I could say, we are going to Tokyo. A second example is, we really like to spend time together. So again, we is referring to a group of people, including myself or whomever the person speaking is, as the subject. Now, if you're going to use us, keep in mind that just like me is the object of an action, us is also the object of an action. So I could give an example where I would say, I was shocked that she called us to her office. In that sentence, I would be the subject, and shocked is the action. Shocked describes the action which is called. So shocked is acting as an adverb, called is the action, which acts on the subject or object pronoun us. So I was surprised she called us. So who did she call? She called us. And another example is, we were surprised that you wanted us to come. So we being the subject, were surprised describes the want, so that you wanted us to come. or in that case, that's also an action. But anywho, so us in that case also is an object of an action. It is not a subject and cannot be used as a subject in a sentence. So just like with I and me, keep in mind that I can be a subject, me cannot. It can only operate as an object of an action. Same with we and us. We can act as a subject, but us can only operate or act as an object of an action. So it cannot be used as a subject. The point of this video was just to clarify it. Again, in listening to English learners speak and in reading their writing, and it's not a harsh critique, it's just something that you should be mindful of. This rule in particular, because it's an exceptionally common one. You shouldn't feel bad, it's just one of those things that even native English speakers fall into this mistake as well. So just be aware of it. All right, thank you for joining me. For now, I'm going to close out, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one.